Saturday. I hope myself and you selves are fired up in this room to get this workout started. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It is awesome to be here with you guys, and I hope you are ready for yet another experimentation into how we can work out in different ways and still get great work no matter what method we choose. So, real quick, oh, she's back. She is back. Woo! You are on fire. So, quickly, what you're going to need today, and then we'll talk about the workout, and then we will get to it. So, all you're going to need, because we are working body weight today, is something to elevate your heels. So that can be a variety of different things. Just make sure it's something sturdy because you are going to be putting your weight into it. So if you happen to have weight plates, a weight plate is perfect. You're not going to flip that over for sure. Or something like a hardback book. Or really anything's going to work, guys. Just something to elevate your heels about this much and is not going to flip over once you set your weight back onto it. So that's all you're looking for. And then optional, if you want it, but you don't have to take it, is a mini band. So that's going to be one of these circular bands here. And we're just doing it for one exercise. So if you're like, legit, I don't want to mess with that today, I just want to go with the body weight flow, then don't worry about it. But mini band option if you want to take it, okay? And then your yoga mat, your floor support, whatever it is that makes you comfy, cozy in the floor. And if you're me, also add some plants from your garden, because why not, right? Charlie was awesome and set up this awesome little summer display. You know, there's like that black hole. We did all that decorating, and then it's just kind of like, all the holidays are over. But we can celebrate, right, and spruce up our space. Enjoy some beautiful plants that we have. This is a mix of outdoor and indoor and succulents and cactuses and everything. It's awesome. I love it. So, what are we doing today? Real quickly, we're doing a circuit class. So 8 exercises, 1 minute on, 20 seconds off, 4 rounds. So I always run circuits in the same way. I think it's just kind of the perfect little setup. And I like for you guys to know what to expect, right? That's, surprises sometimes scares us in our routine. So just like to keep it steady. 1 minute on, 20 seconds off, 4 rounds, 8 exercises. Body weight combos. So we're going to use only our body weight today and maybe a mini band. But these are going to be combination exercises. So we're either going to work 2 different muscle groups or maybe the same area of the body but in 2 different parts. Like this is kind of the same area of the body, but we have our quads and we have our hamstrings or our hip and our glutes. Or in some of them we'll work totally different parts of the body but still a combination. So like core and upper body, right? So we're doing all sorts of combinations but all with body weight. So just to show that body weight has a lot of variety to it. People think body weight and they think easy, but that's not the case. Think about how much you weigh, and I don't mean that in that you're fat, obviously, but I just mean think about how much your body weighs. Even if you only weigh 95 pounds, imagine trying to lift 95 pounds, right? So that's what I'm saying, is think about how much your body actually weighs and that you're moving it around. That's heavier than any weight that you're likely going to pick up in your hands. So that's what I'm talking about, is how we can make body weight good work. It's naturally good work, and then when we make it a combination exercise, it gets even better, right? And then when we throw it into a circuit, we get that little bit of cardio touch too. So there's a whole lot of things at play here for something that seems like a simple workout. And also, it's very modifiable, so if you're a beginner, you can make it as easy as you need to by either modifying the exercise, shortening how long you work each round. So instead of a minute, maybe you work 30 seconds. Or maybe instead of doing 4 cycles, you do 2 or 3. It's all adjustable, which I think is just really, really a cool way to work out with the public when I don't know who I'm working with, and encouraging people to join in with us. So that is that. Let's get to work. A couple things that you always need to know is please add music if you need it. I don't do music because I don't want to lose my videos for copyright issues. If you have questions, leave me a comment here. I will check between the end of each circuit. So I'll check in 3 times. So So if you have any questions about how to modify or what the heck do I mean, leave me a comment. And then of course the social media things I always ask, please like, share, subscribe, all of those things that help get people seeing what we're doing here. And I think I did see a share on this, the post about this class, but it won't let me see who shared it. So thank you if you are watching and you are who shared my post. I appreciate it. And lastly, if you would like to donate any funds for these classes, I know it's something I always say, but it's important to get out there, is that donations are the only payment I receive for these classes. So if you are able to give, Venmo at Strong Style Fit, no ness, is where you'll find me. And you'll see that logo, you'll know it's me. Any donations you can give are extremely, extremely appreciated. And I'm thankful for those of you who do take the time and the effort to do that. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick sip of water, get our timer turned on. It's all set and ready to go. So, yeah, perfect. We've got that all set. So, I'm going to grab a quick sip of water, check to make sure nobody has any questions up front, and then we'll get started. All right, my friends. So, I'll tell you where we're going to start, and then I'll just kind of hit you with the exercises as we go. We're kind of alternating between upper body, lower body. Again, there's combinations though, so just thinking of the primary movement. And we do have a lot on the floor today, actually, so I'll go ahead and preview that for you. 1, 2, 3. The first 3 are standing, and then everything else after that, the last 5, are all on the floor in some way, either hands and knees, or on your back, or on your seat. So, a lot of work on the floor today. Kind of neat. All right, and perfect. So, alternating squat with the curtsy is where we're going to start. So, I'll show you that, and then we'll hit the timer. So, we're going to, just checking my spaces here. So, we're going to sit back into a squat, and then come up, and then into a curtsy. And then squat, and then alternate which curtsies coming back, okay? So I'll probably be a little closer to the camera today than normal, but I think I'll still be in frame just to make sure I don't kick any of my beautiful plants. All right, guys, so we're gonna get started in 3, 2, and 1. Let's work. So we've got that. Squat to the middle, curtsy to the back. Squat to the middle, curtsy to the back. Now, I am not coming all the way to the top. I'm sort of hovering in this middle ground. So what do I mean? I mean I curtsy and I'm not standing and then squatting and then curtsying. I'm kind of hovering in the middle. Now, that's going to make it a little more challenging because you're keeping those muscles constantly engaged by not coming up to stand. So if you need to modify, 1, obviously don't squat or curtsy so low, or you can come up, down, stand back up, curtsy, up, down, stand back up, curtsy. Is it going to make it tremendously easier? No, but it is going to relieve some of that pressure if you're not just hovering here in the middle. All right, we're going to come down to the, wow, we're going to come down to the floor. I almost should have flip these because I guess I lied. 6 out of the 8 are in the floor. I just happened to add 1 standing in between. Silly me. I was trying to alternate upper and lower body. So we're going to do a push-up with shoulder taps. So you guys know I modify my push-ups no matter how strong I'm feeling. So we modify a push-up by making sure our knees are behind our hips. And then we're going to come down, push up, shoulder tap. You might need to widen your knees a little bit, shoulder tap. Widen your knees just a little bit to get a little more stability in your foundation. Push up, shoulder tap, shoulder tap. Now, ways to feel stronger in your shoulder taps is I like to, I'm going to slow it down, push up, and then I kind of push the floor away with this hand, push the floor away. Instead of just having even weight distributed and then trying to pick up, really shift that weight and push that floor away. All right, come on up. And we're going to do our elevated goblet squats. So, I've got my heavy weight here. We're going to do a goblet squat, which we've done recently, again, in that sort of vein of trying to repeat some exercises for you guys. So we've got our heels up. We're going to squat low. We're going to hold our hands here. When we get to the bottom, we open and close. Open, close. So, don't let these arms be kind of a passive, who cares movement. I really want you to squeeze between those shoulder blades, push that chest forward, squeeze that chest, bring them together. So open, close, open, close. And really resist yourself. So when you open, push, and then really squeeze. Like something's trying to not let you open and close. So you're really having to push against something to open, push against something to close. We're going to work with that method several times today. Good. All right. You can leave that in your space if it works for you. I'm going to scoot mine just a little bit. There we go. All right. So where we're going next, down dog with knee to elbow. So we're putting a little bit of yoga inspiration in here. So down dog, we start in plank, and then we push our hips back while sinking our heels deep. As we push ourselves forward, bring a knee forward towards your elbow, and then back, and then alternate, knee to elbow. Now, your knee may get nowhere near your elbow. That's fine. Just move it towards your elbow. Guys, please know I practice yoga 6 days a week, every morning. So this is a movement I'm very comfortable and familiar with, and my body's able to do. It might not be the same for you. All right. So again, we're on the floor here. This is where you can have a band if you want it. You're going to come down, do an alternating mule kick, fire hydrant. We just did this one recently too. This is something we do a lot. It's just a great movement. So let's come down to our hands and our knees. Now, here's what I want you to think about. In your mule kick, when you push up, really, really focus on it being a squeeze, not a momentum, not a fast kick. You see how my whole body jerks? Really squeeze your booty, and then squeeze through that outer hip. And we're alternating. So squeeze that booty, open. So slow it down. Don't make it like a dance move. Squeeze, squeeze. Strong through those hands. Wide fingers. We're working on our hands quite a bit today, so make sure you're keeping those fingers wide and that your weight is a little more towards your thumb and your index finger. If you have your weight, your hands are much more sturdy here than they are here, but most of us tend to roll out here. So really think about, you never want to shift every pound of your weight into one tiny part of your body, but make sure that's more where your pressure is. All right, we've got V-sit with bow and arrow. So V-sit, I'm going to show you the modified first because that's where I encourage you to work. We're in a V-sit. So we've got our feet here. We're going to lift our chest tall. Pull behind your knees, lift your chest tall, and then sit back until you feel your core catch. Right? Not your lower back, your core. Then we've got our shoulders back, but extended, and we're going to pull back like we're shooting a bow and arrow. Pull. Again though, guys, remember, resist. So don't just pull like you are pulling, like you've got a band attached to a pole in front of you, and you are pulling that band. trying to bend that pole. Or like you have a pole in your hand and then you're pulling it, bending it, bending it. So the idea is almost your body doesn't want to do it and you're making it. All right, we're going to do a bridge with a tricep pull apart, but no weights. So hear me out on this. It's going to take, again, that resistance idea. I'm going to lay on kind of an angle because I want you to really be able to see what my hands are doing. So we're in our bridge, feet hip width apart, belly engaged. We're going to reach out and make like a V, like an upside down V out of our shoulders. And then I want you to just directly pull your fist in. So for me, my fists are sitting like on the high part of my rib cage. As we lift into bridge, again, imagine you have a band in your hands and you are pulling apart, squeezing those triceps. Pull. So really, again, resist, squeeze the back of those arms, lower. Don't forget about your bridge and squeezing your booty. I know my first few, my bridge was definitely a mess because I was thinking about the upper body. But once you get it, so everything releases and then squeezes at the same time. Squeeze those arms. Your arms might even lift off, like your triceps might even lift up off the floor. Perfect. Last, we have Superman with lat pull, which we've done a million times, but of course I will always tell you how to do it. We're going to roll over to our belly. I am move this little guy. All right, so we're on our belly. We're going to reach out. Again, we're making that kind of, now we're a Y. I guess we're a human Y. We're going to lift and pull our elbows back towards our ribs. And then extend. Squeeze and extend. At the same time, we're squeezing our booty to elevate our legs off the floor. Good. And it's not about how high you come off the floor. It's about how much you're extending and squeezing. So how much you extend the muscle, squeeze the muscle. Extend the muscle, squeeze the muscle. Woo! Perfect, guys. That is round one complete. We got a minute and a half. So I know that was a lot of talking and learning. You always got to be kind of patient with that first round. But the next three, we're just going to get right to it because we know what we're doing. And I want you to get that concept because we use it a lot. The forward fly with our goblet squat. The bow and arrow. The lat pull. The tricep pull apart. All of that is requiring you to resist. So here looks a lot different than here, here. It's creating that self-resistance, right? So you've got to, I'm relying on you to do that. You're not relying on a weight to create that resistance. It's you. You are the force this time. You're a force. So just keep that in mind, guys, that we're using that a lot today. So it's really important to not just go through the motions, to really pull it together. Pull it apart. That's what we're looking for. All right, we got 20 seconds. I'm going to check the video real quick. All right, looking good. Five seconds. All right, so we got that squat with the curtsy. Squat to the middle. Curtsy. Squat to the middle. Curtsy. Now that we've kind of got the motion, just some fine tuning. Remember, we're working on keeping our curtsies more narrow. If you're somebody who is a big curtsy squatter with that big wide curtsy, think about this more narrow version. Keeps our hips more in line, keeps our knees more in line. job, friends. Now remember, you do have the option to come up and down, up, squat, if you need to release some of that pressure. Again, not going to make it tremendously easier, but it'll help. All right, we've got the push-ups with the shoulder taps. So remember, in our push-up, 1, we are dropping our elbows. We're not up here at 90. We're bringing them down to like a 45. We're not up here. Bring them down. And then when we shoulder tap, we push away. So I've got my knees behind my hips, fingers wide. Again, those nice strong hands. You come down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap. You might need to take your knees a little wider. I'm sticking my head in my petunias. And guys, if you can't shoulder tap, no worries. You can just pick a hand up and up just to practice. So if the shoulder tap is too much, then you can just pick up. Pick up. See how that works for you. Pick up a little higher if that's too easy. There's a lot of in-betweens. Or if picking up is absolutely no-go, guess what? Just do the push-up. All right, we've got our goblet squat with those flies. So we're nice and tall, heels up, tuck that tail, start with our hands forward, we open, close, push, squeeze, push open. I keep my fingers really active and extended. That seems to help with that kind of resistance activation too. You can really, I mean, if you try, guys, you can create a lot of resistance here. It's like a human, you become a human cable machine. All right, down dog, knee to elbow. That's where we're going next. Woo-wee. All right. So again, guys, we've got those wide fingers. If your weight is going any direction, it is towards the indexes and the thumbs. Step back in a plank and then drive those heels up. And then as we come forward, knee towards our elbow. And then step it back to down dog. Knee to elbow. Step it back to down dog. Really push that chest, shine that heart forward at the finish. That'll help you make sure you're flattening your back out. That you don't stay kind of rounded up like that. You want to push it forward. Obviously, we're working a lot of shoulder here. We're working core. Woo-hoo! All right. Come on down. My sports bra's like coming apart. She's so old and overstretched. The Velcro that catches the straps doesn't really catch the straps that well anymore. All right, we got that mule kick. Down dog. So again, strong base. Flex those feet. Squeeze to the top. Squeeze it open. Squeeze to the top. Open. one. If you don't want to use the band, you can. Just again, use that resistance. Fight the lift, fight the open. Beautiful. Bring it around to our seat. We've got that V-sit with the bow and arrow. I feel like the same piece of hair has been floating from my shirt to my pants to my band to the mat. All right, guys, V-sit with that bow and arrow. So set up your V-sit, sit tall, pull that heart forward, sit back, shoulders back, pull. Pull. Isn't it funny too, concepts like bow and arrow? Like when I say pull back, like you're pulling a bow and arrow, you know what that means. I've never shot a bow and arrow in my life. I bet most of us haven't, but somehow we all know what that means. Good. So here we're working core, both middle and our obliques from the twist. We're working the backs of our shoulders with that pull. If you start to feel your lower back, that just means that you're sitting too far back. And your core isn't holding you, your back is. So if you feel your lower back, just sit up a little bit taller. That should relieve the pressure. All right, bridge with those pull aparts. So again, because now this is totally new for all of us, roll those shoulders down and then bring your hands out and then fold them in. So where you're on your high part of your ribs. And as we lift our hips, we squeeze our triceps. So it's like we're holding two ends of our mini band and stretching it apart. Release. Again, make sure the bridge doesn't get neglected. So really squeeze that booty and squeeze the triceps all at the same time. Awesome. All right, Superman. With those lat pull downs, I'm trying to find, what if I do in this direction? I'm trying to find a good way, because it's really important. I don't think it matters too much if you guys can't see my feet, but because the upper body is really the big part of the show here. All right, so we reach out, and then we pull. No, that doesn't work very. Squeeze our elbows back and extend. Squeeze them back and extend. So elbows drive towards your ribs and out. And out. Squeeze in that tush as you lift. Boom! All right, guys. End of round 2. Complete. I'm definitely sweating. I hope you guys are too. And again, it's a different type of work. And honestly, it's a work you have to think a little bit more about, right? Because if you have weights, the weights are doing the work of the resistance. So you don't have to worry about that part. You just have to worry about being able to handle the resistance. And in a body weight class, you have to create your own resistance in some ways too. So it takes a little bit of thinking and a little bit of more kind of interaction with your brain and your body, which those that know me know I'm huge about mind connection, so I think it's a great thing. The more you connect here to here, the more you can start to understand your body, know when something's wrong, know when something's right, all that kind of stuff. Super important. You got 30 seconds. I'm going to check on the video real quick. This time, mystery hair followed me out of my shoulder. Oh, goodness me. All right. All right. We've got 10 seconds, guys, and we're back to it already. I know these classes move fast. Again, it's a great way to kind of get cardio without doing cardio in one class. All right. So we've got those squats with the curtsy. Squat back. Curtsy. Try to keep those hips nice and square when you curtsy. I know for me, again, I'm one who tends to drop a hip, that I was always like sort of craning this hip up and dropping this hip down. And that's not what it's about. So we're going to keep those hips nice and even. There's always going to be a little bit of shift, right? You're dropping a leg back. That's going to make your hip shift a little. But this idea of an intentional big shift, not necessary. Curtsy, and pump that squat, and curtsy, pump that squat, curtsy, pump. So if you're not coming up all the way down, up and down, then it really is like this little mini pump, like you're pumping a air pump almost. You can almost feel like the pressure building in there, right? All right, push-ups with those shoulder taps. So again, now you guys, if you are killer at push-ups, please feel free to be up on your toes. It is just not where I like to work for push-ups. So hands nice and wide. Push up, tap, tap. And again, I give that little push, push. But just make sure that your push doesn't turn into a You're keeping those shoulders nice and square. All right, so get that goblet squat with the forward fly. Up on the heels. Whoo, whoo, whoo. And this is our first one with that self-resistance. Push that chest open. So it's honestly like somebody has their hands behind your arm and you're trying to push against them. I know I keep beating that drum, but if you've not done that much, this kind of self-resistance idea, but it's kind of a foreign concept and it sounds weird, right? So I'm just trying to put it in different ways to try to connect it in your brain with how it should feel. So here, obviously, we're working glutes, we're working our quads, we're working our back of our shoulders when we open, chest when we close. One of the few times too, guys, that I'm going to be knees extended beyond toes. I know that's something I'm always like squawking about, but in this position, it's okay. Whew. All right, down dog, knee to elbow. Again, go ahead and get yourself set up. Strong, strong hands. Here your hands are actually just a little bit outside of your shoulders. Step back into your plank. You drive your hips up as you drive your heels down. And then when you come forward, knee pulls forward. Push it back. You can take this at whatever pace you need. If you need to take a break. Again, this is one that it might be an easier, looks a little easier for me perhaps. I'm not trying to say I'm a rock star, but again, just a movement I'm really comfortable with. Not saying it's not challenging. I'm certainly sweating. All right, just something that I'm very much used to. Not used to this problem over again. All right, mule kick, fire hydrant. Get that band if you're using it. All right, guys, get set. Push. Push. Squeeze. Squeeze. No momentum. All squeeze. Right, V-sit with that bow and arrow. All right, so I'll show you too the full version of V-sit if you're interested. I sort of discourage it when doing it in combinations with other exercises because we tend to always slack in one exercise to make up for the other one. So full V-sit, we do the same thing. Sit up, chest up, sit back, get our arms ready, but then we would lift our feet, and then bow and arrow. So this is your full option. If you were strong enough to do it, kill it. But I find that most of us probably are not quite there, so our V-sit starts to struggle, or the pullback starts to struggle, because we're trying so hard to keep our legs up that we're not really getting our upper body work. So I like to do it here so I can really still get that core work, really focus on the twist and the upper body and not be so concerned with holding my legs up and not fight to keep the V-sit. So your option, you know how strong you are or not, but I will say if you're not sure, and you're trying to do the full version, and you feel like your hip flexors here are on hot, hot poker fire, and you're not feeling much in your belly, put your legs down. That just means that this is holding you, not your core. All right, arms out, into rib cage, squeeze and pull. Pull that band apart. Really make sure you're focusing on your triceps, the back of your arms. Because we tend to, if we're not thinking about it, if I tell you to do this motion, chances are you might tense all up through your shoulders and your neck. Just think about the back of your arms. Leave your shoulders relaxed. And then check in on your bridge. Make sure that you're squeezing your booty, that you're not just kind of passively lifting your hips because you're thinking about your arms. All right, Superman with the lat pull. I'm going to try again to find a position where I can do these lat pulls without overthinking it. All right, so I think you can still see my upper body, which is the important part. So we are going to extend. Man, I just can't find my position. All right, so we extend back to ribs. Out. Ribs. Out. So it's now pull down like an overhead bar. Elbows to ribs. Squeeze your glutes. So we're squeezing everything in our back body. If doing the arms and the legs are too much, don't even worry about lifting your legs. Just squeeze your butt. Squeeze your cheeks. You can leave your feet on the ground, but just squeeze your cheeks. Perfect, guys. Round 3. Complete. Oh, it moves so fast. But sweating even more. I'm getting my little ring in my eyes. So I hope you guys are getting it too. We've got just over a minute here. Catch your breath. Get some water. You guys, in these breaks, I know different level of challenge for everyone. Just make sure that you're not getting cool completely. Minute and a half, you really shouldn't be. Especially after we've already worked out for 45 minutes. But just saying. Make sure you're not getting cool. Make sure you're drinking your water. And please don't do things like sit down or lay down. Keep yourself active, at least standing. Little step touch is perfect, just to keep everything moving and grooving. All right, we've got 30 seconds. Let me check on the video. Wonderful. All right, so last round. What can you do to challenge yourself a little extra on this last round? Can you resist a little more? Can you squat a little lower? Can you lift your hips a little higher? You know, this is body weight stuff, so you got to think about what can I do with my body to get a little extra versus can I pick up a little bit more weight, right? Your body weighs the same as it did when we started, so your body weight's not going to change. So, what can you do with your form to challenge yourself a little more? Can you maybe not modify? Now, I know I'm encouraging you to modify in some things, but just think about it. What can I do to get a little extra? So pump it to the middle, pump it to the curtsy. Pump it to the middle, pump it to the curtsy. Reminding myself too, I keep forgetting the squat to the middle. A couple reps here and there. All right, push-ups with those shoulder taps. Good work, friends. Let's get ourselves set. Those hands out, fingers nice and wide. Knees back if you're modifying, and again, a little wider than normal just to make sure you have a nice, firm, steady base. We push up, we tap, we tap. We push up, we tap, we tap. And again, if you can't tap, then maybe just a little. That's a great practice. quiet this round, I want you guys to think about it yourselves, right? I know I talk and I talk and I coach, but you've also got to be able to coach yourself, right? So I'm going to be a little more quiet each round, each exercise this round. Just let you think about it. Halfway there. Yes, it feels weird for me too to not be talking. But I just think it's super important. I've been thinking about that more, especially for people who've been doing this for a long time with me, that, you know, you need to be able to coach yourself. You need to be able to wrap your own brain around what's happening. If I'm suddenly not here or you're in another gym, you need to be able to talk yourself through exercises. Beautiful, guys. Good work. Weird. I get it. All right, so we've got that alternating mule kick, fire hydrant. Again, I'm going to hush. Let's get that nice steady base. And remember, squeeze, not momentum. Wonderful. All right, we've got that V-sit with the bow and arrow. Okay, sweat rings on my knees. And I think it's from the work. It's definitely nice, pretty comfortable out here in the garage. Charlie works hard to make sure I don't die out here. Good work, guys. We've got 2 left. 2 left. Again, I'm going to keep with the theme of being quiet to let you guys work the exercises out for yourself. I'm going to move this plate just because it's been a little bit of my problem with space. Hello! Hi! Hi, spunky girl! You're in time for our last exercise. Just in time. Wow. Oh, you smell like outside. Did you go for a walk? Did you go for a walk? All right, guys, we've got those lat pull down Supermans, and then we are all set. Arms nice and wide into that V. And we pull back and extend. Thank you, wrist. Pull back and extend. Oh, ding, ding, ding. That is the bell, my friends. That's the bell, Rizzo. Yes. Woo. Friends, we did it. Ah, great job today, guys. I hope you got some great work out of that the concepts made sense, and that you're able to really use, again, your own resistance to create a great workout. Between the weight of your body and the resistance you can create against yourself, you can do some great work. I am sweating, I am fatigued, but in that really great way. It's a little kinder on your joints usually, and again, helps create that mind-body connection of being able to say in your mind, squeeze your tricep and to make it happen, versus relying on the heaviness of something to make that happen. It's super important, and especially in points in our lives when maybe we're not able because of an injury or an illness to pick up something heavy, or because we're restricted and we're told not to pick up something heavy. Being able to use our body weight and being able to create that mind-body connection to create resistance, that's something that will most likely not be taken away from us due to injury or illness. Could be more challenging, of course. There's all sorts of factors, but in general, you know, because of a injury, they're not going to say don't squeeze your arm, you know, like in general. But they will say don't pick up anything more than X pounds. So it's just another great way to use our bodies to get a great workout. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. As always, please like, share, subscribe, all of those things that help get people paying attention to us here at Strong Style Fitness. And last, if you are able to donate any funds for these classes, it is the only payment I receive. I'm not sponsored by anyone or paid by anyone independently to do these. So Venmo at Strong Style Fit is where you'll find me. And I appreciate anybody who has given or is able to give in the future. Guys, thank you so much. I will see you in a few days for another take on how we can create resistance and hard work with no weights at all. I'll see you in a few days. Bye.